So look, Shabbat Shalom. I got to bring y'all this word because y'all been giving me so much revelation. I don't have room enough to receive. I got to give it to somebody. So about probably 4 months ago, I was learning about all the names. Like, I was breaking down all the ancestral names, like Tahuti, like, because all of these are the same deity, but reincarnate over time. So the names just change. So I was breaking all that down to understand that, right? And I just happened I had wrote L. And so I was talking to my dad about the laws of Ma'at. And he was like, do you know about L? And I was like, yeah. And I showed him why I had wrote it down in 2024, but I had never gotten to breaking down the names, and I was getting to that. But I had wrote Dagon, Dagon, beside L. Don't know why. God, when he tells me certain things, I just write. I might not understand it then, but we'll get back to that, and then he'll help me understand it. So when I wrote down Dagon, I showed him, I said, yeah, and I wrote Dagon, but I don't know what that mean though. And so he ended up to proceed to walk into his room. So my children was kind of getting crunk. So I cut the TV on for them to watch TV or whatever. And just so happened I was putting on Tubi. And the first movie that popped up was Dagon. So I was like, come here, Dad. I called him in there and I'm like, look at this. And he was like, whoa, well, you got a spirit following you. And I'm like, no, God just got his hands on me. He be teaching me. So anyway, yesterday when I was writing my notes, I was going to 1 Samuel. And just so happened, I was going to 2 Samuel. And just so happened he took me to 1 Samuel. And the page he flipped to was 333, right? And it had Dagon in it. So I'm like, okay, you was really about this word right now. Like, you want me to break this word down. So today, I proceed to break the word down. And represented knowledge, understanding. This one, another perception or skill to know, right? Gon, which was Gon, to surround, cover, defend. The books is flipping. So I'm like, okay, so what is you saying? And then in the process of that, he started talking about Egypt. He wanted me to break down Egypt. So I broke down Egypt. The E is window, right? So our eyes are windows to the soul, right? So the GY was valley, or valley between mountains. So I'm like, okay, so if you look at the eyes, they're like this, right? They're triangles. Your whole face is made out of different triangles. Your nose, your mouth, like all triangles, right? Windows. Because the eye is in a triangle in a pyramid, right? The eye, the window, right? So the valley. So we know that Ra, we know Isis and Ra, and then El makes Israel, right? Connecting all of it, right? And you get a pyramid. I don't know if y'all can see me really good, but you get a pyramid. So you have to connect them all, right? To get to the Most High. That's the masculine and the feminine, the northern and the southern hemisphere of the brain. You have to connect them, right? Merge, emerging them to get to the Most High, to get to the center where he lies. Like, oh, this is why he said y'all must come out of Egypt, right? Like, don't be stuck in Egypt. Don't be stuck in the word. You have to understand it. See, this is why we perish, because we don't understand it. We just be so caught up in the surface. We barely be scratching beyond it. So, the PT, right, which is a hole or a socket. Your eye is a hole. When you take the ball out, it's a socket. The connector. Oh, my God. And then it said Gaia, right? He took me to another word that said Gaia, Giah, which is to burst forth, bringing forth information. And then he took me to another word is Gehenna, Gehenna, which is hell, right? So, and then he took me to PTH, which is entice or deceive. And then he took me to PTHH is opening, right? So be not deceived by what these show you, but connect them so you can see the opening, the truth, bring forth the real. Oh, I love me some him, right? This is just barely scratching the surface. I'm like, oh. So he took me back to the word Dagon, right? So he took me to 1 Samuel and 5, but I'm going to read 4 and 22 first. Because he kept showing me 422 also. He showed me 122, but he kept showing me 422. These numbers, because he talked through numbers, shapes, and whatever he want to talk through. Symbols, shapes, numbers, TV, people, music. I don't care. If he want my undivided attention, he'd be like, did you hear me? Anyway. So, it says, and she said, the glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken, right? So we know the ark, the covenant, right? The ark of God, right? The tabernacle. That's what his law, statutes, and decrees lies, right? So when he said it was taken, that means it was stolen, taken, manipulated, not physically, but like over time, people have taken his law, statutes, and decrees, his teaching, his doctrine, and manipulated it for power and control. And then we just go right along with it. We just keep falling in line. Just keep this way. Say we perish because we lack knowledge. Oh. Okay, so 5 and 1. Wrote down Philistines, right? The Philistines. Now, the scripture says, and the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. Right, now that's 5 and 1. So I broke down Philistines, Ebenezer, and Ashdod. The Philistine. 5, right? Now, when I was in Mississippi, because I just moved from Mississippi to Michigan, like about 5 months ago. But that's the southern hemisphere to the northern. Baby, he is so unique. I'm talking about, he set my house on fire, so I had no choice but to come here, honey, and just, ooh. But in Mississippi, and then I was in Mississippi, okay, I kept seeing these 3 pyramids for the sorority, and I knew that they meant something. But you got all these different names in the sororities. So 5, right? And it represented the golden ratio, the 21st letter in Greek alphabet, the number of mankind, or the number of God, right? Also, which is 444 in Hebrew, but we're gonna get there. And then it said the number 666 is related to 5 too. So what people fail to realize is that if Yah is the creator of all, he's the creator of good and bad. So why wouldn't 666 be his number just as well as all the rest of them? But 666 is like the number of man being stuck in this fleshly body, worried about everything outside of you, right? Worry about money, clothes, cars, sex, drugs, food, everything that has no meaning, that it shall perish one day. But anywho, so it says 5 is divided into positive and negative, light and dark, good and evil. So we know that this is the time that we are in, right? Where he is dividing. He's dividing good and evil. Those who choose to be stuck in sin and those who choose to rise. That's why the 144 are the elect. And if you have 4 plus 4 and 1 is 9, which is the year that we are in. Let's get to it. But anywho. So went to another, okay, the next one when I broke it down, because in the Bible, if you actually pay attention to how the King James Version is wrote, that's why I like the King James Version, because it actually teaches you, not the watered down versions that they have manipulated and put their own words in there. But anyway, let's get to it. the way he has the words broken down, it's like Philistine, if you can see it. The Philistines. There it goes, right there. Philistines. Okay. Now, you understand how he operates. It's just a little hidden knowledge to you, folks. Stop perishing. So, list with L-I-S, right? And it said, God is my oath. So, list represented God is our oath, right? So, if we were to keep his law, statutes, and decrees, then he would be our oath, right? But a lot of us haven't. We are under man's oath. Anywho. It is short for Elizabeth, which is also Zechariah's wife. Which is unique because I have a child named Zechariah. But it says, my God is abundant. Or my God is an oath, right? So he is plentiful. And he loves us so much. But we don't love him. We love what we can see. And we can't see him. So we don't follow him. Anywho. Time. T-I-N-E. Sharp, pointed parts of a tool, particularly a rake or fork. Tooth, gog, jog, claw, paw, jaws. So 5:1 says, and the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. Once again, now we're going to break down Ebenezer. Ebenezer represents stone of help. Eb is fruit, greenness, or freshness, young. It's short for Abner also, which is father of light, new life, and growth, right? So, the Ark of the Covenant was to give us new life and growth, right? The law, statutes, and decrees. To be plentiful. To have everything. But instead, we rather suffer. Keep going. Or fountain, spring. That goes back to Egypt, right? Spring forth. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Don't you see it? Okay, then E, hen, the thread, fence, window. Once again, window. He is the window to the soul. Your eyes. Stop looking with these and look with all three. So you can get to the soul, the core. You know. Zer. A gold border molding. The tabernacle, the ark of the covenant. The masculine name is atonement. Gold crown. Pressed or bound. So we know that gold is the highest level out of the metals. It's the highest. Just like when you get to your crown chakra, that's the highest. That's what y'all lies. You just going beyond consciousness, beyond your subconscious. That's how he spoke to me, though. Like, I was praying to him and talking to him like this is my best friend, like I always do. And he was knocking on his door. And it's in Revelations. Behold, if you knock on the door and you answer, he comes in and make thee thy friend, come in and dine with thee and make thee thy friend. So I was like, come in, Lord, I'm your Lord, servant, ready to serve you. And when I said that, he spoke verbally to me like I'm speaking to you. And he said, I need you to trust, believe, and have faith. And then my life started getting chaotic, but it was all for the good. But yes, it's very chaotic. It's still kind of chaotic because I'm still understanding his ways. And at times I kind of go back into the matrix and I have to go, come on, like, you're woke. Stop being caught up in these illusions. You walk by faith, not by sight. Okay, get back to Ashdod, right? Ash, fire, or strong, destruction, humiliation, and mourning. Yes, you will go through because many will think something is completely wrong with you because you do not operate in their way, the way that they are used to. But they are the lost ones. They are the confused ones. Do not lose your top. You must be strong. Strong-willed. Mentally. Like I continuously remind myself that I am stable mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, I don't need man to tell me anything that y'all is already telling me. They don't even follow y'all, so why am I gonna follow them straight to destruction? That's why today's time, if you notice, Babel is falling, because they have built this false illusion. It worked for a while. Thank you. But no, that was never God's plan. Dab represent loved one, right? So, knowledge and understanding in the gun. To know. If you know, you know. Just gave you a little insight on what to know, right? So then it went into, when the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early in the morrow, behold, Dagon was falling upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him on his place again. Now, we know that Dagon is the knowledge and understanding. Okay, so it was set up, right? That mean up here, high up, one with Yah. And then it fell because they took it, the knowledge and wisdom, over time, and manipulated it, watered it down, and so it fell to earth. We know earth is the lowest plane. We know that it's hell. I just broke all that down to you. So, right now in today's time, let's get in this word, baby. Let's get a bond with the Most High. Understand how He truly speaks. Understand His ways. Make sure you keep His laws, statutes, and decrees. And I have so many more debars to bring unto thee. But that was just a little small portion of this little debar. I love y'all, but the Most High loves us more, baby. And I'm looking forward to bringing so much more. So much more. I just wanted to get that little piece before I get out of here, because I got to go get my babies. But yes, I love y'all. I love you. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And forgive me for my little ratchetness. I can't help it, because I'm a goofball. But I love it. I love y'all. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing what He asked me to do. So, peace, love, and happiness.